How long is it going to take you to declutter your house? You might think it's going to take a lifetime, and really, you might not be wrong, but it can be broken down into manageable chunks that don't feel intimidating and that give you actual, visible, noticeable progress. So let's talk about decluttering in 10 minutes. Decluttering is one of those tasks that easily defeats us, brings us down, and makes us think that we are not good at this thing called managing life and home and stuff. But it doesn't need to be that way because really, when we are decluttering, we are managing our life and our home. But too often we see it as if I need to declutter, I'm doing something wrong. I've failed. That's why I need to declutter. When really, the fact that you are decluttering is an evidence of progress and putting your attention where it needs to be. It's actually a success, not an indicator of failure. So let's change our attitudes and our perspective on the task of decluttering and learn how to tackle it with energy and joy. If you want to learn how to declutter better and more effectively, if you want to learn how to manage home life better, then you have found your place to be on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll be notified, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up so that other people can find it too. And join the Simply Convivial community here on YouTube. I would love to hear your comments and your feedback and your ideas about decluttering there in the comments. Now let's dig in. So when we look at our home and we see all of the things that we need to declutter, we see the piles, we see the rooms that are in chaos, we see the corners, we see the shelves, the closets, the containers, and we think, how am I ever going to get this done? I just want to be done decluttering. I want to be decluttered. I want to have a decluttered home. And so we get discouraged over decluttering. This month, we are going to talk not only about decluttering, but also about what clutter even is. Because sometimes our mentality, our perspective around decluttering is confused. And when we get clarity and good definitions, we will be able to handle the task better, accomplish it better, do a better job at it. And that's what we're really wanting to do as we tackle these projects. And we need to keep up the energy and the attention to continue to tackle them well, because the clutter is actually not going to go away. Some specific pieces of clutter will go away, but more clutter will come into its place. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news there, but it's true. You know it's true. We've all experienced the never-ending onslaught of clutter in our homes, especially when we have families. Our families' needs and hobbies and clothes sizes and seasons change, and that means the stuff changes. And it's just a part of our job to manage the stuff that goes along with growing and living lives. The clutter, the fact that there is clutter is not a sign that there's a problem. It's a sign that there is life, just like laundry, just like crumbs on the floor. And our job is simply to keep things running smoothly, and that means continuing to declutter. So instead of looking at all the clutter around our homes and thinking that at some point we need to get it all tackled and taken care of so that moving forward there is no longer clutter. Instead, we need to simply notice where our attention needs to be for the decluttering and keep pecking away at it. Our families, ourselves, will generate more clutter, and we can just keep taking care of our home and the stuff that comes into our homes. And to see real visible progress and a difference doesn't take hours, and it doesn't take making decluttering into a big project. It just takes small bits of attention over time, and without that attention waning. It's when we stop decluttering that we get a clutter problem. So if we want to really make a dent in that clutter problem, we have to be constantly decluttering. We need to make decluttering as regular a part of our schedule as meals and laundry are. And we can do that by simply building in 10 minutes of decluttering a day into our routine. We're going to talk more in the next episode about what clutter is so that we can declutter effectively. Today, we just want to cover how to make it a regular part of our routine. We want to give small bits of time consistently throughout our week to decluttering so that the clutter doesn't continually add up. Maybe we do even decrease the amount of clutter just by giving it small bits of attention over time. So, Transformation Tuesday is one of the ways that we do this inside Simply Convivial Continuing Education. It doesn't really have to happen on Tuesday, but it's alliterative. So Transformation Tuesday is 10 minutes of tidying. And we just pick one small area and spend just 10 minutes there, getting rid of the things that don't belong there, putting the things that do belong there in order, maybe wiping down a surface, and we transform that space into a tidy, organized space in 10 minutes. And when we do that, we experience the success of getting organized, the success of decluttering, and that feeling of success builds momentum. And we want to do it more and more, or we realize that the task is not actually as overwhelming or as intimidating as we thought it was. We build it up into our minds into this big thing that's going to take forever. And so we never get started because we aren't going to dedicate the hours that we think it's going to take to get the whole thing done. And so we just redefine what the whole thing is. We take a small, even a single shelf or a single small drawer and tackle it in 10 minutes or less with a timer. And if you do your own before and after photos with that, you will see the difference that 10 minutes can make. And it's really fun to see those before and after photos, even for just ourselves on our own photo roll, to say, look, I did this, and get some momentum going in your decluttering. And it is true that that spot that you decluttered one week, come another month or two, it needs another spot on the Transformation Tuesday list, but that's okay because it's just 10 minutes and you get that reward of seeing the before and the after. And if you do this for a little while, then you will experience what most of the rest of us do, and that is we want to have it be a Transformation Wednesday and a Transformation Friday. Even though it's not fully alliterative, we get that 10 minutes of making an actual difference in another area. And we start to realize that it's not a huge deal, that we don't have to dedicate our whole day or our whole afternoon to organizing and cleaning and decluttering. Instead, we can just take a bite-sized piece and bite it and chew it and eat it. And it's done. We've done something meaningful and useful and effective and visible. And those small wins build up. They add up themselves, but they also build up our confidence and attention and ability and capacity. So starting with 10 minutes, even just once a week, will add up to you wanting to declutter 10 minutes 3 times a week, maybe even 10 minutes a day most days. And before you know it, you will be tackling those spots that you never thought you'd actually get to, because 10 minutes a day really does add up. And you aren't looking at it as a kind of project that's going to be finished. You're looking at it as, what am I going to do next? And you keep looking for the next thing to declutter. You're going to keep finding the next thing. There will always be a next thing to declutter. But as we experience it as a fun thing that we get to do, we stop looking around and feeling failure at all there is to declutter. And we start looking around and saying, I'm making a difference. I can declutter this far corner now because I've taken care of the main living areas in just 10-minute spot by spot bits. And we've changed the way the game works. The game of decluttering is not about getting to the end point and then taking care of everything perfectly from that end point. It's just building decluttering into our routines as a regular thing that we are constantly doing and experiencing as a good thing in our lives and in our home routines, just like meals and laundry. So take 10 minutes on Tuesday to tidy up and transform one area of your home. Take a before and after photo and enjoy the visible difference that you have made in your home. It will add up. I dare you to try it, and then I'd love to hear in the comments how it went. If you want to hear more about decluttering help and how to build decluttering into your regular routine, into your lifestyle, into your home management plan, then check out this workshop that I did all on enjoying decluttering, cutting the clutter, and continuing to cut the clutter in our homes. It's an encouraging workshop. It's a practical workshop, and it will help you take the challenge of decluttering every week in just 10-minute chunks. It really will make a difference, not only in your home, but in your own mind. So check that out, and be sure to not miss the next episode where we talk about what clutter really is. See you then.